Morris and welcome to Things Invest. Talk about investing, finance, financial development. For today's series only, the investment on top of today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. First, just want to say happy Friday, everybody. Hope you had a great week, by the way. Respect to Ethereum, I'm recording us of 8:57 a.m. on Eastern Time. Currently $23,235, up about 3.82% so far. In respect to the overall crypto market, we're up today. In addition to the equity market as well, on a pre-market perspective, is also up as well with respect to a rebound of the interest rate that subsequently recuperated yesterday, right? But with respect to specifically on Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's mainly driven by a lot of collections of media affectation, right? So I've been collecting a lot of the news earlier this morning, and I've been just keeping tabs for the last 12 hours so far. There seems to be a lot of news percolating around Jack Dorsey's again. It seems like there are some articles that came out with respect to 3 hours ago on Bazinga, depicting around Jack Dorsey posed at Elon Musk as Bitcoin bulls continues to engage with, obviously irked the Ethereum backers, right? So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in depth, right, by reading this article. So it seems like there's been a lot of engagement on Twitter exchanges. Jack's been posting quite often. Specifically yesterday, I think he posted like one, two, three, four times, specifically around the topic of obviously Bitcoin and the value proposition, right? And some of the quotes that I can just like quote them here on this video is that the first one he posted is focus on one thing isn't hate of others. I've made my concerns known about others in comparisons to Bitcoin. Key ones are founding principles, security, and centralization. Okay, so that's one. The second one is called disrupting big tech isn't exactly what we needed or what I want. No one technology alone will do that though. So it seems like he's not completely just you know, that binary. It's like either Bitcoin or everything, right? He is accepting the facts that we need to have multiple other technologies, not just one technology alone can do it, right? And Bitcoin is one of the proposition that is in the crypto technology. So I guess that's a foreshadow of some sort of affectation that could propel Ethereum and other coins to go up as well. Another one is that he posted, as you have on Bitcoin, decentralization isn't an end goal though. It's just one method of fixing the money, right? Another affectation, based on the adjective and the verbiage that he uses here, he's not just completely solidified into one specific asset, right? He is open to other methods, right? So obviously, with that, translates into that he's not just binary in terms of thinking about Bitcoin. He has the optionality to adopt other cryptocurrencies. So he focused on the value rather than just being the maximalist, like how people characterize him, right? And the other one, the last one, he's a small quote. It has value to lots of people, just not what I'm focused on. Um, well, obviously he's talking about Bitcoin, but again, he's focusing on more of the value, right? But these are a lot of like cryptic messages that he has posted, but like seems on like just like the collective verbiage and the tonality of the sentences that he wrote so far. It seems like it's more he's not like completely just one sided, if you may. Which I guess is a good thing. He's not that polarized like people are, depicting him like, right? But obviously, with these type of affectation, it's comparable to like how Elon Musk was trolling us back in the day, right? He expressed the support for Dogecoin, which subsequently propelled Dogecoin to go up, right? But these type of cryptic messages obviously will have some engagement to the surging pressure that we're currently experiencing right now, right? So, in addition to this Jack Dorsey's news, we also got other news talking about Fortune raised 429 Ether, which is in equivalent to about 1.3 million in its first NFT sales. So another popularization around NFT value proposition, and then the other one is with respect to Pudgy Penguins NFT, another NFT related news, right? It takes flight as daily volume tops 11 million in Ethereum, right? Another one talking about something pseudo related to Ethereum, obviously with the NFT adoption and popularization. Um, and the other one is on Decrypt 15 hours ago. It's talking about Krypton. So I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but it sounds very comparable to like the Superman Krypton. That they is an investment firm that focuses on digital assets, has filed an Ethereum-based ETF. With the SEC. So obviously it's still pending. It's gonna be percolate in the near future, but obviously another positive affectation to the stock, to the to the price point for Ethereum, obviously, right? And then the other one is talking about Reddit with his valuation now worth about 10 billion amidst the Ethereum tokens reward pushes. So another one that's another stamp of approval from Silicon Valley unicorn, if you may, Reddit, on their popularization around their tokens, which is stemmed from the proposition of Ethereum, right? So another step of approval, another good gravitas, into the price point for Ethereum. And then the other one is talking about with respect to just a juxtaposition news on comparing Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Like, why does Jack Dorsey hate Ethereum? And the title, is relatively interesting. I don't think he necessarily hates Ethereum. I don't think he hates it based on just like the recent Twitter post that he has posted. Right? He's focusing on the value proposition, right? But obviously, Bitcoin has the ones that aligns with him the most, and that's why he's a supporter for such, right? So anyways, with respect to all of these news, right? Collectively speaking, I would say we have like about 75% of positive news today. With some, there are more just media affectation with respect to the Jack Dorsey's Twitter post. So I'm gonna go through technical analysis to see how we're trending right now, right? Knowing the fact that we basically rebounded, right? Yesterday we hit below the 2,980s, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I know some people on the channel has told me that they bought at that level, and congratulations, you guys are truly warriors. I was in meetings at the time. I wish I actually bought some. Again, right, the $3,000 level or below is the ideal zone to DCA, right? And subsequent to that, because of these news that's been percolating, we bounced back up to the all-time today for 3,263. So we gotta take a look at the momentum, look at how the trends with the weekend coming. So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. Alright, so moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum ticker ETH, on recording of 9:07 a.m. on the Eastern Time, current trade $3,226, up about 3.55% so far. You can see that with respect to the sideways consolidation we've been forming so far, bouncing between the levels of like the low 3,000s all the way to the high, right, the 3,285, which if you take a look at the technical analysis perspective, you understand that that's the level of substantiveness that we have as the next form of escalation, right? But we never got above to the next level. That's why we're kind of bouncing up and down like the ping pong machine. And the next level technically is the 3,385 as the next level, right? So knowing the fact that today is a Friday, despite the positive news that we've been percolating so far, and I think we are still within the euphoric zone that we are we've been talking about in the previous videos. That and knowing the fact that also the whales did buy in somewhere around in the mid areas, we might see a surge again, right? I think we tried to get the surge, right? And I think we just couldn't get there because technically we have to basically break through another resistance level, and this next level, if you look closely, is a relatively big one, right? It's not a small little candle that we have formed historically, right? So it will be a one shot up, and for us to take that one shot, it takes a lot of positive pressure. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think the marching order from here is still wait for the dip to come back down to 3,000 for you to dollar cost average of the first level. But for me, again, right, I do have a relatively large position right now. I wait until 2,750, which should be happening because again, we're still running hot. the rocket's still up in the air. We're still like, in space right now, technically. Also, RSI is still overbought. You could see we're still above that golden line, right? That it needs to cool down and go through that normal revolution, that normal course of cycle before we can further leap up, right? Again, the rocket is like about to it's just kind of hovering, stalling, if you may, if you fly planes. It's just not, it's just gliding at the moment, right? And the pilots may be taking a break for this international flight, I guess. Like he's taking a nap right now, letting the Ethereum price point to be on autopilot right now. So that could be a positive a thing for us. We could just use this opportunity to swing trade, if you may, right? Low 3,000, swing up all the way, swing down, swing up, and then you trade. You make like a couple $100 here and there, right? But just know that the likelihood of actually breaking back down will be likely because it needs to go through that course of cadence. It always happens, right? Every single time. Every single time. It needs to go through that oscillation, especially this is such a prominent one right now that whatever goes up really, really fast comes down just as fast. And I think that's what's going to happen eventually. Right, so definitely be cautious, but these are the frames of reference we're going to be going with. All right, just to recap on numbers and technical analysis, again, right, we're bouncing between the 3,000 and the 3,285. So we do have a good range for us to like swing trade, if you may. So if you want to buy at the low 3,000 and swing it up from there, that's something that is up to your risk tolerance. But for me, I think I'm just being more conservative. I'll just wait until we come back down to the normal zone. It needs to go through that normal course of revolution. It needs to go through that complete cycle, right? It cannot just like go up and then kind of hover and then keep going up. It doesn't work that way in the supply and demand dynamics perspective, right? The whales ultimately need to be incentivized to keep the momentum going, right? They want to be, ultimately their patience can run out someday, right? And we know that they bought in anywhere around like the 2,750 and 2,450. I think it's somewhere around like the 2,600 that they might pump up and then squeeze us out. And then by the point we get to like the 3,385, they will dump us. And I think that could be likely, right? But ultimately, if you buy it now and you potentially lose, it will just be a short term because long term wise, it will be 9,800 in the 12 months price target, 3.3 times your money from here. Alright, so this is for today. Respect my technical analysis on the Ethereum ticket ETH. Hopefully this is helpful and have a great rest of your Friday. And feel free to give me any questions if you have any questions specifically. Respect to the Patreon that I've been getting questions on. I'm still working on it. I want to perfect it. And then I'll give you guys probably a demo, prior to me releasing it. But really appreciate the support. I really enjoy the engagements that we have on a daily basis. But yeah, have a great rest of the day, and you'll probably see me later today just to give you guys maybe a live update. But depending on my schedule, I do have a relatively busy meeting day today, kind of back to back in the midday. But yeah, appreciate you and stay tuned for us to come up. Take care. Bye.